Welcome back, Nashville. We're excited to be here on a Guide to Healthy Living with Dr. Liz and Dr. Jason. We're your local health and wellness experts here on News Radio 1510 WLAC. I'm Dr. Elizabeth Baker.
And I'm Dr. Jason Reinhardt.
And we are here today to talk about some important topics. And if you've joined us before in previous episodes or previous shows, my office is down in Brentwood. I'm a chiropractor. Dr. Jason's down in Franklin. He's also a chiropractor.
Yep, and our goal is to make this the healthiest hour on the radio where you can just tune in and always come away with some good health advice to improve your quality of life.
Absolutely. If you've tuned in before, you know we like to talk about different topics over different courses of shows that we've done. But today's topic is a really common one that each of us see in our offices pretty much multiple times a day.
Yeah, it's something that just about every patient that comes in, they present with these findings. With
these findings because of the symptoms they're having, or they may even be exhibiting the beginning precursor causes to what we're about to talk about. And today our topic is actually arthritis.
Yeah, arthritis, inflammation, and people that don't even come into a chiropractic office, if you just look at the whole medical world and just put it all together, it's a huge topic out there. So many people are dealing with arthritis, inflammation, and it's just negatively affecting their lives. And that's why we want to bring this topic up today, give you some different advice, a different path on things that you can do.
Yeah, and we're really excited to share this information with you because some of it's really basic knowledge that we feel like people should just know about. The first thing we're going to talk about, actually, you know what? We're going to offer them tips today. We're going to give them about 4 tips, and that's what we're going to start talking about is the first tip.
Yeah. And you know what? Again, this is a guide to healthy living with Dr. Liz, Dr. Jason. Again, we are chiropractors. We are focused on health and wellness and getting you back to the best you. Dr. Liz's office is Brentwood. I'm a little south of her in Franklin. And you can always reach us, 615-727-3107 or on a guide to healthylivingradio.com.
Absolutely. So our first tip for how to deal with arthritis and inflammation. I'm going to preface this tip with my own personal story as well. But our first tip is getting your joints moving. Your joints have to be mobile. That is one of the best, probably number one tip that we can give you as far as avoiding getting arthritis and, reducing the flare-ups from arthritis, but getting your joints mobilized, getting your joints moving.
And this is the reason you became a chiropractor, is it not?
Absolutely. So I actually battled with my own arthritis even in high school as a teenager. I was about 16 or 17 and actually just told this story to a patient last week, but about 16 or 17, I was a cheerleader and I noticed that I was not able to do the splits both directions as easily as I could, one way as I could the other way, as well as some of those jumps, my leg wouldn't go up as high. My mobility on my hip on one side was not as good as the other. And then eventually, by the time I was about 20, it started hurting a lot, like achy, burning. If you've had arthritis pain, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's just that constant nagging, aching deep in that joint pain. And I was already getting that at 20 years old. I decided to go to the orthopedist who took x-rays, looked at it and said, oh, yeah, well, you just are starting to get arthritis earlier than we normally see. There's not a whole lot you can do about it. Didn't really give me any good advice, didn't give me anything other than a prescription. So I didn't know any better. I took my little prescription home and started taking it. And then turns out a couple months later on the news that exact medication I was taking had started causing a lot of people heart trouble. And so of course my mom and myself were both concerned about me continuing with that medication because of all the news coverage that it had. So I stopped taking it. And what do you know? About a week later, that pain came back because I'd been taking that medication every day and it was basically masking the problem. So then I was back to square one, actually in more pain than I was when I started. And that's when I started to seek the help of a chiropractor and again, felt better, but without medications. And even to this day, I'm 33 years old now, and I have minimal issues with that problem. I'm still always going to have some arthritis in that joint. Whatever had already formed is there, but it hasn't gotten any worse.
That's awesome.
In 13 years. So the chiropractor is what helped me, and that's why I became a chiropractor.
That's awesome. So not only did you benefit, it actually changed your life and picked a profession for you.
Absolutely. So that's what I wanted to talk about as our first tip. chiropractic. It's the best thing for arthritis. It's so much better than medications. It's so much better than injection steroids and those sort of things. So if you want us to help you with your arthritic pain in your neck, your hips, your low back, your mid back, pretty much anything from your toes to your nose, give us a call. 615-727-3107, or you can check us out online at aguidetohealthyliving.radio.com. And if you give us a call, we'll offer you a special number of spots like we do every week. We have 20 spots available for new patients in our office. We start out with 20 at the beginning of the show, and so by the end of the show, usually those things dwindle down. So go ahead and give us a call, 615-727-3107. That will get you a consultation, x-rays, exam, and your first adjustment for only $40. That will also include a special appointment where we go over all your exam findings and we give you our best recommendations for how to get your problem fixed.
Yes. So give us a call. It's interesting that you said, arthritis is the reason you became a chiropractor. My story is a little bit different. My dad grew up a North Dakota farm boy riding tractors. He had all kinds of problems later on in life with his low back. So arthritis, degeneration, inflammation is what brought him to a chiropractor. Myself, I was actually on course to be a medical doctor, and I decided that's not what I wanted to be. I was looking into chiropractic because my dad had loved chiropractic and said, why don't you check this out? But from, just how it affected my life, I had football injuries in my low back and my neck. Started getting adjusted. I had no idea that I had arthritis, inflammation. I just knew I had pain. So again, if we're talking to you, give us a call, 615-727-3107. We have a limited number of spots. We offer this every week, 20 spots. It includes exam, consultation, and specialized x-rays, a $250 value for $40, and that includes the first adjustment.
So definitely give us a call, and if you don't have a pen, that website is aguidetohealthyliving.radio.com. Check us out online. The phone number's there as well. We're going to come back with a couple other tips for you after we get back from this short break, so stay tuned. We've got some other things you can do on your own at home. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. You're listening to A Guide to Healthy Living with Dr. Liz and Dr. Jason right here on News Radio 1510 WLAC. We are your wellness chiropractors here giving you some tips. In the first segment, we talked about inflammation, arthritis, and we gave tip number 1 that joint motion is the best way to start getting your health back in terms of getting rid of that pain.
Yeah, your health. Our arthritis responds the best to joint mobility, joint movement. And the first tip we gave was seeing a chiropractor. And if you don't have one, you're listening to 2 right here on the radio. The chiropractic care that we offer is one of the best things to treat and reduce the pain and reduce the need for medications for arthritis.
Yeah. And that's why you go to a chiropractor. It's never just one adjustment. I wish it did work that way, but it's a series of adjustments because that's what we're really doing is we're reestablishing proper joint motion in that bone. It doesn't just happen one time. You got to get it back to normal. When it's back to normal, it's going to wear and tear properly and give you the life that it's capable of. But you got to get it there first.
Right. There's no quick fix with any disease process in the body, whether it's losing weight, whether it's trying to get your hormones under control. There's no magic pill. There's no quick fix for anything. And arthritis falls under that same category. So if you're looking for some help with your arthritis in your spine and your hips and your neck and your back, give us a call, 615-727-3107, or check us out online at aguidetohealthyliving.radio.com. Each week we offer a limited number of spots. We start out with 20 at the top of the show, and usually by the end of the show we're either almost out or running out pretty close to the end of the show. So give us a call, 615-727-3107. That will get you a consultation, exam, x-rays, and your first adjustment for only $40. So give us a call.
Yes, definitely. And if you have been diagnosed with inflammation, joint pain, and you're just suffering from aches and pains because every day your body's screaming out to you, correct me, fix me, call us now. That's what we want to do for you.
Yeah, we want to be able to help because we know we can. That's what we see in our office, 40, 50, 60 times a day, depending on how many people come in that day. So that's also another thing that leads me to, if you are having aches and joints pains, that is a precursor to developing arthritis in most cases. So you can sometimes avoid having problems down the road if you take care of them now.
Well, and I can't tell you how many people that come into the office, they don't even think it's that major of a problem. We take x-rays and then we go over them together and I say, this is what's going on. I show them what normal is supposed to look like, show it to where they're at, and their eyes are just wide open. They're like, I had no idea that I had arthritis, that I was that degenerated. Thank goodness that you caught this, and we're going to stop this process from continuing down, because another 5-10 years, you're really going to be in bad shape.
Yeah, and a lot of times pain is just the tip of the iceberg for what's actually going on underneath the skin. So that's where those special x-rays that we take are really important to show us what's going on. Sometimes we're even able to give a timeline estimate for how long your problem's been going on, even though you may only have been hurting for a couple of months or a couple of years. Sometimes that problem's been going on for 20 or 30 years and you're just now being aware of it. So give us a call. 615-727-3107. Again, that will get you a consultation, x-rays, an exam, and your first adjustment for only $40. That's normally a $250 value, so give us a call today. Get on our appointment book for next week, 615-727-3107.
Awesome. Well, are you ready to move on to tip number 2? Tip number 1 was chiropractic, getting those joints moving right. Tip number 2.
Tip number 2. So tip number 2, this is something that you may have heard talk about. Maybe your friends around the water cooler have been talking about this lately. It's called turmeric. This is a supplement or a food item, whichever way you want to look at it, that you can get at most health food stores, as well as most supplement vitamin shops as well. Turmeric and something called curcumin, which is the potent part of the turmeric that's actually the helpful portion of the turmeric. Turmeric is a spice that's been typically used for thousands of years over in India and Asia in what makes curry its yellow color. It doesn't taste like curry, but it's what the component of curry that gives it that yellow color. The main ingredient, like I said, is curcumin. It has a super powerful anti-inflammatory effect, and it's also a very strong antioxidant. It's typically taken either as a food source or as a supplement source, depending on how you get it. How do you take your turmeric?
I take it in supplement form.
Supplement form, like a little powdered capsule?
Correct. But you also have another tip, because so many people just take turmeric, but they don't take something with it, do they?
Absolutely. So to make your turmeric more effective, if you are already taking a turmeric supplement, I want you to run to your cabinet, get that bottle out and flip it around to the back and read the ingredients on it. It needs to contain some sort of black pepper extract or black pepper, or somehow say the word black pepper on it. The point of black pepper is it actually increases the absorption of that curcumin by about 2,000%. Otherwise, it's pretty poorly absorbed into the bloodstream, and you might be actually wasting your money paying for that turmeric supplement.
Yeah, make sure that you do that, because I can't tell you how many people come in to our offices week after week after week who think they're doing what's right, and they're only getting a teeny bit of the benefit, because small little tweaks like black pepper make a huge difference.
Yeah, and it's one of the better things in recent studies that has shown it's reduced a lot of inflammation due to arthritis, whether it's osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis. That's the wear and tear kind versus the genetic kind. So either kind of arthritis seems to respond pretty well to turmeric and the curcumin within turmeric, as long as there's also black pepper involved as well. So if you're cooking with it, the powdered form doesn't have a ton of curcumin in it, but it will have some. So if you are cooking with it, make sure you're also including, your regular old table black pepper as well.
Or you can do it like what you do. I know Indian food is one of your favorites. So,
I love Indian food.
Yeah, there you go. Start eating more curry.
Eat more curry, eat more turmeric. Another way to get it, if you go to, I know specifically the Nashville's Farmers Market, if you go into that little, I guess it's like a Middle Eastern grocery store on the inside there. Have you been in there before?
Yeah, right by the food court.
Yeah, sometimes. Well, and I've sometimes seen it at Kroger's, but sometimes you can buy turmeric in its raw form, and that's going to be much more potent than the type that you cook with that you just get at the spice aisle. They look kind of like little short. If you've ever seen ginger, they look kind of like little short stubby pieces of ginger, but if you break them open, they're bright yellow on the inside. Again, that's that yellow color that gives the curry its yellow color, but the raw form is much better than the dried spice, and that is our second tip as far as how to help alleviate some of that arthritic pain and inflammation in your joints. But our tip number 1 was
Chiropractic care, getting those joints moving.
Getting those joints moving, getting those joints mobilized. If you don't move it, you're going to lose it. So get those joints moving. Call us today, 615-727-3107, and we will help you get those joints moving because we are chiropractors, and that's what we deal with on a day-to-day basis is pretty much arthritic pain.
Yeah, and again, it's the reason both Dr. Liz and myself became chiropractors. Neither of us, well, I shouldn't say neither of us. I had no idea that I had inflammation and degeneration arthritis in my low back. I went in and because I was having some back pain from previous football injuries. I had no idea what was going on. X-rays were taken. It was shown to me. I had heard of words like arthritis, but I thought, man, I'm in my young 20s. There's no way that could be affecting me. I was dead wrong.
Yeah, and if you heard the beginning of the show, I told you mine started when I was about 16 from cheerleading or who knows what I had done, but I started having problems in my low back and hip when I was about 16, and by the time I was 20, I was on medications for arthritis and ended up stopping those medications because they were harmful for my health otherwise. And I sought the help of a chiropractor who was actually able to help me out, and to this day, I am a chiropractor because of that experience I had.
Yeah. And there's so many people, we've said this earlier, that come into our office every week. And, it's low back pain, it's neck pain, it's headaches, it's things like that are bringing them in. We take these detailed x-rays, we take a look, and we show them what's going on. Their eyes are wide open. They are so happy that they're there and catching a problem before it gets to a huger problem down the road because they had no idea that they had degeneration, arthritis, inflammation going on. They thought they just had pain.
I have to laugh because you just said the word huger.
Huger, is that a word? It is now.
I don't think so.
Larger. How about that?
A much larger, a worse problem.
Worse
so
problem.
if you're one of those people, give us a call, 615-727-3107, or check us out at aguidetohealthylivingradio.com. Our phone number's on there as well. That will get you an appointment with either Dr. Jason or myself, or if you live in the surrounding Nashville area, we've got doctors in Dixon, Hendersonville, Murfreesboro. Where else have we got doctors? Nashville. We've got them all over the place. So my office is in Brentwood. He's in Franklin. Give us a call, 615-727-3107. That will get you an appointment with one of us for $40, and that includes consultation, exam, x-rays, and your first adjustment, all for $40. That's normally a $250 value. Hey, Scooter, how many spots do we have left of those 20 that we started with?
We are at 14.
14 spots left, guys. So we've already got 6 of them gone in just the first little bit of this show. So give us a call, 615-727-3107. Get on our appointment book. Again, that special is normally $250, and it's only $40 if you give us a call in the next, 30, 45 minutes left.
Yeah. And to recap so far, we've talked about 2 tips. Number 1, chiropractic, getting those joints moving. Number 2, adding turmeric to your diet. Again, a very easy supplement to add in. You can find it in most places. When we come back, number 3 we're going to give out?
Yep, we're going to get to tip number 3 on what you can do to help your arthritis in your neck, back, spine, and all your other body parts. So stay tuned for that 3rd and 4th tip coming up. Some pretty interesting stuff that you may not realize is helpful. So you're listening to A Guide to Healthy Living Radio with Dr. Liz and Dr. Jason. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to A Guide to Healthy Living with Dr. Liz and Dr. Jason here on News Radio 1510 WLAC. We're excited that you're still tuned in and listening to our show. We are your local health and wellness experts for the next half an hour, I guess.
Yes, we are. And, we're giving out some tips on something that most Americans are affected with at some point in their life, arthritis, inflammation. It's something, if you look across the medical world, they're topics that come up all the time. Huge in chiropractic offices, though.
Absolutely. Systemic inflammation is one of the, base causes for many disease processes. We're just specifically picking out arthritis as our topic for today's show. We could talk for days on just inflammation in general. So we're trying to narrow it down for you on the show. Our first tip, if you missed the beginning of the show, was getting your joints moving. Your joints have to be mobile. Otherwise, it's what proliferates more and more arthritis, more and more joint pain to have those joints actually stuck. So our tip was movement of the joints, which ideally the best thing for that is chiropractic care. We are specifically trained to move those joints in such a way that it puts them back into normal range of motion so that they work and function like they were meant to, so that they can stop wearing and tearing out on your body. And then our second tip.
It was turmeric, a supplement that you can take that has huge benefits for inflammation in your body.
Yeah, turmeric is specifically something called curcumin. A quick little thing that I forgot to add last segment is you actually need to take the turmeric or curcumin supplement for about 8 weeks before you will actually start to notice any benefit. So don't give up if you've taken it for a couple weeks and you think, well, this crap ain't working. Give it time. It will work. Just make sure your turmeric or curcumin supplement has black pepper. That was the other tip with that one.
Yeah, extra tip. Black pepper increases absorption by about 2,000%.
Yeah, so you're not wasting your money on that expensive turmeric supplement. Just flip the back over. Make sure the ingredients include black pepper of some form or fashion. It should say black pepper, or it might even say something called pepperine, which is the medical technical term for black pepper.
Yeah. And now it's time for tip number 3.
Tip number 3.
Before we do that, you can always get in contact with us, 615-727-3107. We offer you a way to get tip number 1, chiropractic, get those joints moving. Again, exam consultation, x-ray, $250 value. For today, $40. We're including the first adjustment in there. Again, that's 615-727-3107. Or you can always visit us online, a guide to healthylivingradio.com.
Yeah, and that will get you an appointment with either Dr. Jason or myself. My office is in Brentwood. He's down in Franklin. But if you aren't in either of our areas, still give us a call. We've got doctors all over the Middle Tennessee area, from Murfreesboro to Dixon to Hendersonville. We've got them all over. So just give us a call so we can put you in contact with the right doctor that we trust.
Yes, definitely. So now tip number 3. Tip number 1 was joint motion. Tip number 3 is body motion.
Body motion.
Body in motion stays in motion.
I was going to say, what does that mean?
It means you got to get up and move. You got to exercise. And this is one of those things that a lot of people say, oh, no, I got to exercise. Yeah, but you need to find something that you enjoy doing. Yeah. I love to do CrossFit. You'll see me at my CrossFit box, 6 a.m. I love it. I look forward to it. There's other people that say, there's no way you're going to get me out of bed at 5 a.m. so that I can get there.
That's me. So that sounds horrible to me.
So that's not for you, and that's fine. Maybe it's swimming, maybe it's tennis, maybe it's yoga. If you could see, yoga is not my thing. If you go to our website, a guide to healthylivingradio.com, you can see me attempting yoga with Dr. Liz, and you can see it's not my thing either.
He actually gets up and leaves in the middle of the video. It's pretty funny. It's a hyperlapse video, so it's only about a minute and a half long, but it's pretty funny. Go check it out.
Yeah, but I mean,
think you did okay, though.
I tried, and I like to stretch. I'm just not good at all those positions, but I'm working on it. I'm a work in progress.
Yeah, you're getting better, actually, and it's helping your CrossFit because your joints are now more mobile because of your stretching, right?
Yeah. The challenge with most Americans is we're sedentary. We sit all the time. We just load up our joints. We don't move them, and then they wear out prematurely.
Mm-hmm. And so with that movement tip that Dr. Jason was talking about, if you include that with the other movement tip of getting the joints moving, you get your muscles moving, you get your joints moving, this is one of the best ways to slow the progression down of arthritis and maybe even avoid getting it altogether.
Yeah, and you know what? Another thing about exercise, it is the best antidepressant known to man or women. You just got to figure out something that you like. You feel so good after you exercise.
Yeah, it increases your serotonin levels. It increases your endorphins. Those are all the happy mood makers. What's the other one? Dopamine. It increases all of these happy hormones when you exercise because your body thrives when it's moving. If you're sitting at your desk for 6, 7, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, go home, sit on the couch because you're tired from your workday, you watch TV. When were you ever moving more than going to the bathroom or going to get lunch?
Yeah, and you know what?
It's not enough.
And you don't have to start out huge. Start out small. Say, 3 times a week we're going to go for a half-hour walk after dinner. Start out with something and then progress from there.
Yeah, and you don't have to work out like Dr. Jason does where you get super sweaty and out of breath. You can do a 20-minute just easy yoga exercise. You can pull up YouTube and find a ton of free videos that follow a nice, simple, easy stretching method that you can follow along at home just from your laptop. Nobody has to watch you in a yoga class and you don't have to feel embarrassed or ashamed. Just start moving.
Yeah, and just remember, the only person you're competing against is yourself, or it should be. That's my goal. I want to be better than I was yesterday.
That's a good goal.
So when you have arthritis, when you have inflammation, we've already talked about joint motion. We talked about the best way to get that, chiropractic. We've talked about a supplement you can take in turmeric. Now we're talking about body motion. We've just given you many ideas how to get your body moving. We want to help you, though, with that first one, that chiropractic. Again, 615-727-3107. Give us a call now. We're going to give you an exam, consultation, x-rays, normally a $250 value, $40 in our office, and we're going to include that first adjustment to get those joints moving. So call us now, 615-727-3107.
Or check us on the line. Check us out online. I am so tongue-tied today, y'all. Check us out online at aguidetohealthylivingradio.com. Our phone number is there. You can find out more information about Dr. Jason or myself. But you know what? You can also find our social media links there, too, so that you can follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, or check out past episodes or that funny yoga video we just mentioned.
Yeah, and as we've talked about earlier, Dr. Liz and myself both arthritis, inflammation, big reasons why we became chiropractors because we were both experiencing it.
Yeah, I was originally going to vet school. He was originally going to medical school, and our own personal experiences with our own arthritis and our own arthritic changes as young adults were what brought us towards actually being a chiropractor.
Yeah, I just thinking, you know what I love about these tips, and we try to do this every week for you guys. We want it to be something that you take action on and actually do. We don't want to give you something that's so huge that you're like, oh my gosh, how do I tackle this? You think about it. You go buy a supplement in turmeric. Easy to do, easy to implement into your lifestyle.
The hardest part of that is flipping the thing over to make sure it has the right ingredients.
Yeah,
then taking it.
And getting your black pepper in there. We're talking about getting moving. Start with something like a half-hour walk after dinner. And with chiropractic, that has to be the easiest one because the hardest thing is you just got to show up at our office. We do the rest and lay on the table.
Yeah, but if you're not willing to put even that little bit of effort in, you may not be the best ideal patient for us because you actually have to show up to your appointment so that we can help you.
Yeah, we can't help you if we can't see you and lay hands on you. You got to be there for us to help you.
Yeah, that's the one and only catch that we have is you got to be able to get to our office. So if you want to get in our office and we have a few spots left for the week, give us a call, 615-727-3107, or check us out at aguidetohealthylivingradio.com. We offer a consultation, exam, x-rays. That's normally a $250 value, as well as your first adjustment. Give us a call, and we'll offer that to you for only $40. 615-727-3107.
Yeah. Let us make you be the next person that comes in our office and say, oh my gosh, I can't believe how good I feel. I haven't felt this good in years, and all I had to do was show up, lay on this table, and let you guys work on me for a few minutes. Be that next person. Give us a call.
Yeah, give us a call. Maybe you'll be the next person that we play on the radio, because if you've heard us before, sometimes we actually play some of those exciting testimonials that we get from those patients that are just amazed with their results that they've seen in our office and how quickly they start to feel better.
You're going to know it because seeing is believing and feeling is believing. And once we get your body functioning and moving and those joints back to normal motion, you're going to feel a huge difference.
And you're going to wish you started this 5 years ago.
Oh, definitely. I hear that all the time in our office.
Like, how come I didn't know about this 20 years ago? How come I didn't know about this 30 years ago? Don't be the person that has to say that. Go ahead and start now. Give us a call, 615-727-3107. Get in our office. $250 value for only $40. 615-727-3107. And we will be right back with a guide to healthy living in just a moment.
Welcome back, everyone. As always, this is a guide to healthy living with Dr. Liz and Dr. Jason right here, News Radio 1510 WLAC. We are so excited to be here, so excited to be sharing information with you about a topic that's huge in our office. We're wellness chiropractors. We deal with this every week. We're talking about arthritis. We're talking about inflammation. And we're giving out tips to help you.
Yeah, we've given out a couple of tips already. We've given out 3 big tips. The biggest one that we've given out is probably the most important, the most effective, the best thing for arthritis, and that is chiropractic care, getting your joints just freaking moving.
And we do that for you. You just got to show up at our office and leave the rest to us.
And if you want to show up in our office, as always, every week we offer a limited number of appointments to either see Dr. Jason or myself. Give us a call, 615-727-3107. What that will get you is an exam, consultation, x-rays, and your first adjustment. That's normally a $250 value. We will offer it to our radio show listeners for only $40, but you got to give us a call, 615-727-3107, and we'll check in later to see how many spots we've got left before the end of the show, but I know we had limited number already halfway through. So 615-727-3107, or check us out at aguidetohealthylivingradio.com.
Yep. Our second tip was something that you can go to pretty much any store and buy. It's a supplement called turmeric.
Turmeric or curcumin, either one. Just make sure that your turmeric also includes something, some form of black pepper with it so that you absorb it better. And that's a good thing for inflammation as well.
Yeah, and we talked about you need to be consistent. Don't think you're going to take it one time a week and you're going to get a benefit. Look at the recommendations on the bottle and get consistent with taking it.
Yeah, some of them even say take it 2 or 3 times a day. Just do it. It's easy. You just take a pill and swallow it and wash it down with water. But it can take up to 8 weeks for that to take effect. So make sure you give it time. With anything, it takes time.
Yeah, it takes time.
And then our third tip was not just joint movement like our first tip, but just full body movement.
Yeah.
Muscle movement.
Yeah. Move it or lose it.
Move it or lose it. So Dr. Jason was saying just exercising, yoga, walking, getting up and moving around. We have such sedentary lives that this increased pressure on our joints by not moving them is what's also increasing arthritis.
Yeah, our bodies were designed to be in motion. And when you take that away from it, it's just like anything. It's like you take a car and you could park it in the garage and don't do anything to it. It's going to wear and tear. Mm-hmm. It needs to be.
What's the first thing that wears out if you keep a car parked? It's the bottom of the tires because that's where the most pressure is. That's the first thing that starts to wear out is the tires.
Yeah. And again, find something that you enjoy doing. I like CrossFit. You might not. Okay, then that's not right for you. And start off small. If you're someone who hasn't exercised, don't think, I'm going to start 7 days a week for 3 hours a day. You're setting yourself up for failure. Start out slow. 3 days a week, for a half hour and go for a walk after dinner.
Yep, easy as that. And that's how you start out, and then you add to it from there. So tip number 1, chiropractic care. Tip number 2, turmeric. And tip number 3, just get moving. Yep. But we're about to move into tip number 4. But before we do that, I wanted to give out that offer one more time if you want to hit us off with that real quick.
Yeah, it's 1, you got to give us a call. It's 615-727-3107. It's an exam, consultation, x-rays, and first adjustment where we can get those joints moving. It's a $250 value in both Dr. Liz and my office, $40. But you got to call now, 615-727-3107. We have limited number of spaces. We only have 20 each week, and they fill up fast. So give us a call, 615-727-3107.
Or check us out online at aguidetohealthylivingradio.com. That phone number is listed there as well, but also links to our social media. So please follow us on Instagram. We post all sorts of fun extra tips outside of our weekly episodes here. So give us a call. Check us out. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah.
So let's move into tip number 4. This one is also a dietary tip as well, but some of the most inflammatory things that we eat on a regular basis. Most people probably know the first one is sugar, so we're not really going to talk about that one yet because everybody knows sugar is bad. But if you didn't know sugar is bad, sugar is highly inflammatory, so knock it off. But the 2 big ones that you may not realize, reducing grains and reducing your dairy consumption. So dairy and specifically gluten and grains. Those are our other inflammatory foods that we ingest regularly.
Yeah, and I mean, you think about it.
I guess I should say you and I don't.
Yeah, we don't. But I mean, these are words that you hear all over the place. I have a gluten intolerance. I have a lactose intolerance. I don't do well with dairy. I
personally do not do well with dairy and have not since I was a kid.
I love things that are dietary changes that you can make because if you think about it, no one can force you to put any food in your mouth. You got to do that.
Yeah, that's the one thing that it's your fault 100% or not. If you're the one picking up the fork and putting it towards your mouth.
Well, and there's so much information now. You go to Google, type in, lactose intolerance, how do I eat? Gluten intolerance, foods to eat. Now, there's so many different food companies out there that target these things because the groups are so huge that have these problems. They're making all kinds of foods for everybody.
Yeah, it's much, much easier than it used to be to find products that are gluten-free as well as dairy-free. So it's a common allergy to have to milk or to lactose, specifically the protein found in dairy called casein. That's usually what most people are allergic to if it's not just the lactose itself. Those are two highly inflammatory components to dairy. Especially somebody who already has arthritis, whether this is the wear and tear arthritis or whether this is the genetic kind of arthritis, you are affected more by consuming more dairy, more sugar, and more grains, more than the average person will be.
Yeah, and you got gluten. A lot of people don't know what gluten is. It's the protein component of grains. Casein's the protein component of dairy. Lactose is the sugar component of dairy. Mm-hmm. And they're all things that are hard for our body to digest, and that's why you have problems.
Yeah, so if you're not exactly sure which grains contain grains don't contain dairy, which grains contain gluten, it's specifically found in high concentrations in wheat, rye, barley, and any other foods that could be potentially made from those grains. And then, of course, the lactose and casein comes specifically from milk, definitely from cow's milk, but also it can be found in goat's milk, and some people even have a sensitivity to that as well.
Yeah, and that's one of the big things that you can try to do is I've heard people that, they don't do well with cow's milk, and they've switched over to goat milk. And if you think about it, the cow's milk has a bigger protein than the goat's milk, which you think about a cow is a bigger animal than a goat, and they do better digesting the goat milk.
So if you haven't really thought about that before, so what milk is intended for is to, the mama cow has the baby cow, the calf, and then that calf starts to drink milk pretty much within the first couple of hours of it being born. The goals of that mother's milk to that calf is to grow I don't know what a baby calf weighs, 90 pounds, 100 pounds.
It's big.
It's a pretty big baby, but it's intended to grow that 90-pound baby to, a 2,000-pound steer at some point really quickly versus a goat, which might weigh 40 pounds, and that baby goat maybe weigh 10 pounds, and it's only got to grow it a little bit bigger. So the protein in cow's milk versus goat milk, two totally different types of protein. But why are we drinking the milk from another species anyway? That's just kind of gross.
Yeah. And these are all easy things to change in your life. Number one is the easiest, chiropractic, which we're offering. All you got to do is show up at our office, lay on the table, let us do the work. Let us get those joints moving. The way that you do that is you call us now, 615-727-3107. Exam, consultation, x-rays, and first adjustment, $250 value, only $40. But you got to give us a call now, 615-727-3107. Second tip.
I was going to ask Scooter how many spots we actually had left.
There are now 2 of them.
Only 2 spots left, guys. Only 2. 615-727-3107. Give us a call. If you can't make it in next week, we'll get you on our schedule or possibly on our cancellation list to try to squeeze you in somewhere.
Yeah, we'll make it work for you. But you got to call, and there's only so much we can do. So, number 2 tip, just to recap the hour, is...
Chiropractic was number 1.
Yeah.
Turmeric was number 2. Make sure your turmeric includes black pepper so that you make it more absorbable.
Yep.
Tip number 3 was...
it was body movement.
Getting your joints moving by getting up and moving around, walking, yoga, exercise, just getting the muscles of the body moving.
Yes.
And then the 4th tip that we just covered was reducing your intake of grains, specifically gluten, as well as dairy, and specifically the sugar and protein components of both of those. Those are both very inflammatory foods. And I didn't even mention a second ago, but dairy actually increases mucus production. That just sounds gross, doesn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of people that eat dairy will get a mucus production, not just like in their face kind of mucus, snot and that sort of thing, but also intestinal, which is what gives you an upset stomach and makes it harder to absorb your nutrients after anything else you eat after you've had that dairy.
Well, and just listen to your body. I know when I eat something that's not good for me, I know how I feel. And I feel, what do I say? Like garbage, I guess. I just go, I feel
bloated and
bloated,
run down.
sluggish, run down. I don't sleep well. I just feel tired.
And, if you eat like that all the time, you may not realize that you feel like that until you stop eating that way. And a quick way to find out if that is a sensitive food item for you, knock it off for just 7 days. Pick 7 days where you can really control what you're putting into your body. cut out as many grains as possible, cut out as much dairy as possible, and you'll notice how much better you feel once it starts getting out of your system. But you got to give it time to make it feel better because your body has to rid itself of all that stuff that's been building up over the last who knows how many years.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, when you start getting rid of inflammation, arthritis, you're going to feel 20 years younger. You're going to feel so good. You're going to wish that you did this years ago.
Yes. Don't be one of those people that comes to me in their 40s and 50s saying, I wish I started when I was 20. I almost wish that I had found chiropractic before I was 20, and maybe I wouldn't have had the damage that was already done in my teenage years.
Yeah, I wish I was like a lot of the kids in my office that are getting adjusted at young ages. Mm-hmm. My goodness, they have such an advantage.
Yeah, the youngest one I saw this past week was 3 years old.
There you go. I have a newborn that I'm going to adjust tomorrow. So I'm excited.
Yay, exciting.
Yes.
So, give us a call, 615-727-3107. We're about to wrap up the show for the week. Check us out online at aguidetohealthylivingradio.com, 615-727-3107. Give us a call, get you a consultation, x-rays, exam, and your first adjustment. Normally, that's a $250 value, and we'll offer it to our radio show listeners. We only had 2 spots left, so hurry and give us a call. It's only $40. Check us out, 615-727-3107. You can see myself or Dr. Jason, or call us and we'll help you find a doctor in your area. But we are about to wrap up, and we'll have to see you back here next week on A Guide to Healthy Living. We'll see you next week.
Have a great week. See you then.